Italy 5, Estonia 0. I just recorded this with no audio, so I gotta go back here from where I was. Type of hunger I haven't seen in years. Type of fire in the Italian players that I haven't seen in years. So you're up, like first goal 58, 69, 71. So we didn't score again till the 89th. So you're telling me 89th minute you're up 3-0 and you still have that hunger to press? You have Bastoni pressing in the other team's half in the after the 80th minute when you're up 3-0? You haven't seen that type of fire in the Italian national team. I have never seen it in my life. I don't know when the last time you've seen it was, but wow. Like, yeah, that's what we needed. We needed someone like Gattuso to come in and bring that desire, that hunger back to the squad. And I was wrong a little bit about the lineup because he ended up going 4-4-2, right? I predicted the 4-2-1-3 or 4-2-3-1, whatever you want to call it, with Raspadori. He put Ken in instead, and I think it worked. People will say the first half and the second half were different. Yes, they were, but that was our very first half. Our first half with Gattuso, with the four back, with the 4-4-2. So you drop a center mid, you put an extra striker in. But from what I seen, the press was working very well. I was happy with the press. Ken and Retegui were hungry all game. I was happy with the press. I was happy with the way we built up with Barella a little bit ahead of Tonali, DeMarco coming down the left, with Zaccagni inverting, and when Raspadori came in, he played like the Raspadori I've been wanting to see. Small, quick, creative combinations, opening up space for his teammates. Doesn't have to dribble too much, just small, quick touches to open up that little pocket, to open up the half spaces. It's the Raspadori that I'm looking to see more and more of. Um, and now both of his managers for international and for club, with Simeone and Gattuso, I feel like they're monsters. They're gonna bring the best out of him because they're not gonna give him a choice. They're gonna give him that hunger to stay, a monster up here. And if you know a small, he's standing at I think 5'4", Raspadori. So you can already imagine someone that's 5'4" that doesn't get consistent minutes. It could be tough to be, a monster in terms of confidence, but I think now he's in a situation where he's a little older, which is good for your mentality, and he has two managers that can really bring the beast out of him. So it's looking good for the future of Raspadori. I'm excited to see where that's gonna go. I'm not saying he has to start today, and he's not predicted to start today. I believe that they actually predicted a 4-3-3. They predicted a 4-3-3. Maybe they're looking for a little bit more control versus Israel, which I understand because from what I remember in the Nations League going versus Israel, there was some Israel were creating some chances. I know the last time we versed them, we won 4-1, but the time before that, which wasn't that long before, we had some slip ups at the back. They were creating some chances, and Donnarumma, like usual, was coming up big. But it was pretty sloppy. It was a scary, unconvincing win, the first game against Israel in the Nations League. So I could understand coming for a little bit more control. I do think, regardless, whether you play the 4-3-3 or the 4-4-2, they're going to end up very similar in terms of the press and in terms of possession, especially because I can see, Barella playing the highest of the three here. Tonali still ahead of Locatelli. Locatelli kind of playing like a deep lying playmaker. DeMarco pushing up, Zaccagni inverting. So it's almost like, if I bring you back to the tactics board, it could almost be like a 4-4-2. Not necessarily a straight four, but you kind of see four, the four right here and the two. Like kind of, whether it's the 4-3-3, I think the press is gonna be same because it worked very well. And I think the in possession, I'm very excited to see more and more of that type of play from Italy going forward. I'm happy that we, came back to a back four. I think that's what we've been needing. That's what I was hoping Spalletti was gonna bring. And I mean, he was so successful at Napoli with the back four. So I was really hoping that that continued. With when he came to the national team, it didn't. I wasn't happy with Spalletti here. So, like I said, I do think Gattuso is the right man to bring the hunger, bring the desire. I understand Italy's identity for X amount of time, but if it wasn't working, you can't just dwell and sit there forever. It's gonna work eventually. We just don't have the players, blah, blah, blah. If you don't have the players to play a certain way, you can't play that way, right? I think with the players we have, the four back, and the way we were pressing and playing in possession was the way to go. Estonia is not the biggest test, but it's not necessarily about the score. It's about the hunger and desire that I've seen on the field. It's about the freedom feeling when you're attacking. The players didn't look scared to go forward. They didn't look scared to take risks. And that's what I'm looking for, not the 5-0, because it could have been 2-0, but with that performance, I still would have been happy. And a lot of people on Twitter, like I already said, talking about the first half the first half wasn't that good. Italy didn't score till 58th minute. It was our very first half. So it's okay. If the first half against Israel is not okay, then we can start talking. But that's one game. That's one half, right? It's a 90-minute game. Let's see what happens versus Israel, a little bit of a better opponent. You know, Still shouldn't be up to Italy's level, but we'll see how it goes today. Um, I'm hoping for a convincing win because the last time I watched wasn't a convincing win. I'm hoping for a convincing win. I'm hoping to see the hunger still. I hope that they didn't just eat everything of that 5-0 win and get comfortable because there's nothing to be comfortable about. We still have Israel today, and again, we have Israel. We still have another game against Moldova as well, and I think another one against Estonia, but we're ending it off with a Norway, and I'm really looking forward to I want to get a win in all these games, especially against Norway, the best team that we're gonna verse in this group, in my opinion. When Italy did play Norway, like I was in a bridal party at a wedding. I was one of the groomsmen, so I'm standing at the altar. Someone from the crowd gets my attention. I go, yeah, yeah, yeah. They go, you know what that made me feel like? Like we gotta get back on Norway, and it's just gonna make us believe more if we compound interest, stack a win with win, with like more chemistry within the team, better possession football, attacking football, just consistently stacking compound interest. It's only gonna look better for our future. So I am looking forward to that. And we have Israel today in just a few hours from now, which is step two, I guess. Gattuso to Glory episode 2. So I'm looking for a win today. I'm looking for a convincing win today. I'm looking for the same fire and style that Gattuso's boys or brought into game one. I was gonna say Gattuso's men, but we're still gonna call them Gattuso's boys for now because they haven't convinced themselves or us that they're men yet. It needs to be a little bit more of a bigger stretch of what I seen last game. So let's go for a win today. Let's show the world that Gattuso is bringing back that Italy that people hated to play against. I'm not saying people fear us. I'm not looking for that. But the grit, when you hate bursting that guy that never stops chasing you, how many times you twist and turn, he's still on you. How many times you fake shot, he's still in the way of your shot. That's us. So game by game, we bringing that back. Come the World Cup, we making the quarterfinals at least. And we might make it in an ugly way, but people are gonna hate every minute they play against us. And that's and we're gonna score some goals along the way. So, all in all, Gattuso to Glory episode 2. Game time in 2.5 hours, and we'll be back right after that. Enjoy the rest of your day. Forza Italia, and let's get it.